Shabbat Shalom. How are you, Cheryl?
Oh, hi. I'm sorry. You know, I forgot. I have to be retrained. I forgot that I'm supposed to be on at 7:15 as the co-host.
That's all right. I'm here. It's all
Okay.
good.
But you know,
Let me make you let me put you on.
Okay. But you know, I looked at the calendar for the link.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing for the 15th or 16th.
Really?
Yeah, it starts with the 17th, both on the homepage and on the calendar, at least the last time I looked.
Yes. Oh, goodness.
I just had that same problem.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Let me.
Thanks for letting me know. Hopefully people know that Shabbat is the same link last week and this week and next week.
People people don't say that. I mean, I had a really
No. It's also on the
on the calendar. It's
on the calendar on the website.
Okay.
So this week, you know, next Shabbat is the same.
It's
also listed.
I didn't even go down that far. I just picked something else I thought would be on the main one. I used that.
I know. I see that. Well, thank you for bringing it to my attention. I wish I knew 10 minutes earlier. I might have done something.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about
that. That's all right.
I sent you a text a couple minutes ago, but I guess you didn't get it.
Oh, I see it now. 5 minutes ago. Yeah, I've been setting things up, but
sorry.
That's all right.
That's okay.
And Shabbat service is always on the same link?
They are.
They're on the main one. And yeah.
So next week is listed and it has the same link as this week. So
I didn't
hopefully
I didn't think about looking at next week. I only thought about looking at this week. I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were updating it. We were actually updating it for the email blast that goes out on Monday. And I didn't even think about the fact that Shabbat was still needed to have links up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I'll do it as soon as I'm at my other computer. I can set it up for at least tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because the B'nai Mitzvah family might not know as much, although they would have sent that link out.
Yeah, but still, it's better.
Yeah.
You're right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I'm going to mute so that I can do the other stuff.
Me too.
The other greeting. And thank you, Adria and Cheryl, for helping out tonight.
You're welcome.
I made you both co-hosts, so.
Okay.
You're on, and we're already live streaming because we need to do it anyway in order to start the screen in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good Shabbos, Gail.
Good Shabbos, Sherry. How are you? Good to see you.
Thank God I'm good.
Good.
How was the wedding?
Beautiful.
Oh, that's
I had a big part of it.
What'd you do?
I signed the ketubah.
Wow.
And I had to go up and check the rings and make sure they were kosher.
Oh, you sang the ketubah. That's cool. I like that. That's beautiful.
It was fun.
Yeah.
The rabbi used to be the cantor over at the Jewish Center. And he looked at me and goes, "You do know how to write your name in Hebrew?" I said, "Bob, what did I teach?"
I think so. I can make it happen. Yes.
I said, "I think I know how to do that."
Yeah.
Good for you.
I said, do you want me to do script or block? He goes, whatever.
Script is pretty good. That's funny. Script or. Oh.
My cousin took me after dinner Saturday night, which was great. And once we finally found a restaurant to go to.
Where were you? Atlanta?
I was in Baltimore.
Oh, Baltimore. I thought.
Why didn't you call me, Sherry?
I didn't know
I
you
live
were
here.
I'm sorry. You could have come for dinner with us.
I could have given you suggestions too.
Well, he lives in Baltimore, so.
Yes,
We tried to go to Gordon Ramsay's place.
okay.
Couldn't get in there until 10 o'clock.
Oh, my God.
I know, you had to
We
make
were gonna
reservations
go to
early.
Phillips. There was an hour wait there.
Yeah,
So he goes, we'll go to, I forget which one he took me to, but the brother-in-law of his daughter's ex-husband owns the restaurant. So he got there, he goes, can you get us in? He goes, I turned 150 people away, but I'll find a table for you.
nice,
So he he made a table for us.
I
very
still can't
nice.
figure out that relationship you just did.
I know. It
My
goes
sister
on and
Daughter
on.
was married to the brother of the owner, but it's her ex-husband.
Yeah, I just was very funny. It
Right,
sounded like some
right.
kind
Food was delicious.
Good.
of, good.
We shared an appetizer, we shared the main course. It was
Well,
just
next
too
time
much
you
for,
come this way, let me know.
well, text me your phone number and I'll put it in my book, in my phone, and I'll give you a call.
I don't have your phone number to text you.
All right.
Put it in chat.
Okay.
Well, wait, don't put it in the chat.
All right, guys, we're getting started.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay, you should be good. Yeah, you should be good.
Shabbat Shalom. Okay, I'm trying to read this. My name is Camille Bloomberg, and on behalf of Congregation Beth Hayim, it's an honor to welcome you all here to our Shabbat service this evening as we Zoom from our synagogue. For those wearing hearing aids with the T-Coil program, you can access our hearing loop using this program. We have headphones for those who do not have compatible hearing aids, and we have large print prayer books as well. The headsets and large print prayer book are located on the side tables under the sanctuary windows, or right back there. We want to maintain a warm and welcoming feeling for these services and create a sacred place that will inspire prayer. For those on Zoom, please help us by staying muted unless the clergy invites you to unmute and participate. And while we will not always be able to hear one another, we would love for everyone on Zoom to sing with us. Please know that prayer books are available to borrow if you would like to follow along at home. And if you have any trouble with technology, our Executive Director, Mira Brzozowski, will be happy to help you. For those praying in person, we ask that you turn off your cell phones and be present with us. Only a short time. Also, please keep your masks on, covering your nose and mouth the entire time you are in our building. Although we are physically separated in masks, we are all one community in prayer and celebration. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, our clergy and staff, we wish you a restful Shabbat.
Thank you, Camille.
Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. To help us welcome Shabbat, I call to the front cousins Nikki Gross and Linda Marbach, and of course, Zach. Come on down. It's just Linda, okay.
You can take it off.
Thanks. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us find knowledge by which we live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
We'll continue on page 2 with lighting of the Shabbat candles. You guys have matches down there?
Yes.
Okay. Please.
All right. Hold on. I'll try to. Serious. There we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Great.
I was just
And now we'll invite grandparents Meg Dunn and Jim Thompson. Help us with Kiddush.
not used to.
Yeah. Zach, you're on. Can you pour the juice in the? Your reading is after the. And we'll continue on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Borei
borei
peri
hagafen
Baruch
Baruch
atah
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodesho b'ahava uvratzon hilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila l'mikra'ei kodesh Litziat Mizraim Kivanu Vacharta Beotanu Kidashta Mikol Ha'amim Beshabbat Kodesh Be'ahava Uratzon Hinhautanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
Okay. Zach, make a little room at the microphone. There we go.
There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain.
On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share.
There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted.
On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation.
There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others.
On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal.
So we embrace Shabbat.
Day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace.
Thank you. Okay, you can all have a seat. And we'll continue with Lecha Dodi on page 20. Lecha Dodi לקראת קלה ומשבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת קלה ומשבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, בשם ותפארת ונתילה. Lecha דודי לקראת קלה ונשבת נקבלה. Lecha דודי לקראת קלה ונשבת השם נסוכה סופה עשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת כלה ונשבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה ונשבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת כלה ונשבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה ונשבת נקבלה בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוניה מסגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה ונשבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה ונשבת נקבלה. And we'll remain standing and continue together on page 26. See, you got ahead of me. Page 26. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם עולם מעלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו. לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמא, ואמרו אמן. We continue together at the bottom of page 27. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time. Even at unlikely times and through unlikely places, there is no place on earth without the presence. Page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back my brother or sister, or cross over. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadta Otanu limadta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shokbeinu v'kumeinu Nasiach bechukecha ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו לאורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה נגה יומם ולילה ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל אוהב עמו ישראל ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. May be seated. Continue together on page 36. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 la
ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם,
אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Page 39, we continue together at the top. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 42. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשו את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשו את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ונהיו בין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשו את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשו את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Pages 46 and 47. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city, but prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. We rise together, continue pages 46, and then the even numbered pages after that. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. You may be seated. We continue on page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Page 57. We read together, "You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, and pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, and all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod." It's time to give thanks. Modim anachnu lach. We give thanks to you. If there's anyone who has a blessing they'd like to share, yes.
Yes, my grandson had a bar mitzvah last week, but it was an old grandson. His family could never practice Judaism. They lived in Russia. So his father and his grandfather never had a bar mitzvah. Now two kids in the family for a bar mitzvah.
That's a great story. Yes. Speaking of.
We're thankful because we've got quite a bit of family and friends that have flown in from all over the country to celebrate this momentous occasion, and we're very thankful for that.
Yeah. All right, so for B'nai Mitzvah, let's all say thank you. Modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach. We have more. Yeah. Wow, Mazel Tov and happy anniversary. Yes. Granddaughter's birthday? Anything else that we're grateful for? Yes. A new great niece? Wow, Mazel Tov. Yes.
For how helpful and wonderful my daughter has been with our extended visitor.
For a helpful and wonderful daughter. Modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach. Another one. A new job. Mazel tov. Anything else? Yes.
I moved from Alabama with my beautiful wife to Nevada to spend my next adventure here in Princeton for my cousin's bar mitzvah.
Well, welcome. One last time. Modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach. Thanks, Mom. We'll continue with our prayer for peace on page 60. Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Hasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Hasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Hasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Hasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. Page 61 at the bottom, a little further meditation on the theme of peace. Don't stop after beating the swords into plowshares. Don't stop. Go on beating and make musical instruments out of them. Whoever wants to make war again will have to turn them into plowshares first. Continue with a moment for silent prayer. Adonai, Suri, Adonai, Suri, Begoali, Begoali. At this point in the service, we take a moment to ask for healing. For those who are in need of healing, of mind, of body, of spirit. I believe we have a list of names. Wait and see if we see it. There we go. So for all of people whose names are listed and those whom we are holding in our hearts, anyone who is in need of healing, we say this prayer, thanking God for God's great works. The prayer can be found on the top of page 71. The words are Ma Gadlu Ma'asecha Ya Me'od Amku Machshavotecha. And if that's a mouthful, you can just stick to hallelujah. So I'll show you the hallelujah part first. It's very simple. It goes hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. That's all. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Keep this going. Hallelujah, All right. That's away this week, so the mouse gets to play. Our Torah portion this week is Lech Lecha, where God tells a youngish Avraham to get up and leave his ancestral home and go to a place that he's never seen before. And we're told that Avraham obliges. Well, I'll get to the exact quote in a second. It is so tempting because this Torah portion comes right on the heels of Noah. It's so tempting. The rabbis are always going on about how there's this comparison between Noah and Abraham. And, you know, they always come to the conclusion that Abraham is the better person. Why? Well, later in this Torah portion, God tells Abraham that the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah are going to be destroyed. And Abraham gets all upset. And he says, but wait, what if there are innocent people there? Are you really going to kill the innocent people along with the guilty? That doesn't seem just. And they argue, which is kind of amazing that God lets Abraham argue, but they start bargaining, and they start at 50, and Abraham bargains God all the way down to 10. If there are only 10 innocent people anywhere in the city, God will spare the entire city. Contrast this, of course, to Noah. You know, when God says to Noah, build a boat, I'm going to kill everybody, Noah says, okay. So that would be a real easy comparison. And the rabbis have gone there, you know, been there, done that. But we have another interesting and very subtle comparison right in today's Torah portion. It goes down between Abraham and his nephew Lot. So in the very beginning of the Torah portion, when God tells Abraham to get up and leave his, leave his home and go to this land of Canaan that he's never seen before, it says that Abraham took his wife, Sarah. Well, actually, it's not Abraham yet. It's Avraham at this point in the story. Avraham took his wife, Sarai, his brother's son, Lot, and all his possessions and the followers they had gathered in Haran. Right? So he's got his wife, his nephew, the possessions, and all the followers, and they leave Haran. Okay, very good. Now, what's interesting is no sooner do they arrive in the land of Canaan when there's a famine. And it's a bad famine, a severe famine. The Hebrew word is kaved, which literally means heavy. There's a heavy famine in the land, so bad that Avraham, who came into Canaan on God's instruction, has to leave and go down to Egypt where there's food. And unfortunately, in Egypt, the family is split up for a short while because Avraham, who's afraid that if people know that Sarai, who's a very attractive woman, is his wife, that they will kill him to marry her, they tell everybody that they're brother and sister. And so Pharaoh takes Sarai, brings her to the palace, and is preparing to make her his wife. That's big trouble. But Pharaoh finds out, he's very upset that, they committed this deception. But nevertheless, he is good to Avraham and Sarai. They get to leave. And on their travels down to Egypt and back up to Canaan, Avraham, who already, remember, he left Haran with all his possessions, he's pretty wealthy by the time he gets back to Canaan. It's really impressive. And in fact, if you read an English translation, it says that Avraham went out of Egypt into the Negev with his wife and all that he owned, and Lot accompanied him. And Avraham was, pick a word, very, exceedingly wealthy. Interestingly enough, the word the Torah uses is kaved, the same word that was used to describe the heavy famine. Avraham is heavy wealthy. But there's something very interesting. If you notice in the order of the words, when Avraham comes out of Egypt with all this wealth, check this out. Avraham went out of Egypt into the Negev with his wife and all that he owned, and Lot accompanied them. Something's different here. At the beginning of the story, it was as Avraham, his wife Sarai, his brother's son Lot, and all his possessions. Now the possessions have come between them. Literally, in the text, the possessions have come between Avraham and Lot. It's a very subtle hint that there's trouble brewing there. Went from the Negev as far as Bethel up to the place where earlier his tent had been, between Bethel and Ai, where he had first built an altar. Then Avraham called upon the name of the Eternal. We'll come back to that in a second. Now Lot, who had gone with Avraham, also had flocks and herds and tents, so that the land could not support them both. They had so much property that they could not remain together. Isn't that interesting? It's not wrong that the property comes between them. A quarrel broke out between Avraham's cattle herders and Lot's cattle herders. And Avraham said to Lot, "There should be no quarrel between you and me, your kinsman and mine, for we are close kin. The whole land lies before you. Pray, part from me. If you go north, I will go south. If you go south, I will turn to the north." And Lot looked around and saw the whole Jordan plain, and all of it was well watered. This was, of course, before God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. It was like a divine garden, like the land of Egypt, as you get to Zoar. So Lot chose the whole Jordan plain for himself and moved away toward the east. There's a couple of problems there. First of all, I just want to point out, remember, we had this heavy famine. Avraham goes down to Egypt and there's a split in the family. It's temporary. But the reason I pointed it out is because now they're coming back up north. They are heavy, wealthy, and there's another split in the family. Right? This time, his nephew Lot takes off. Did you notice anything about Lot's decision? Uncle says, choose where you want to go and I'll go the other direction. And what's Lot's answer? Yeah, I'm going to go there. If you look at it, Lot saw that this was this lush green area and took it for himself. The polite thing to do, according to the rabbis, when Avraham made this offer to Lot, what Lot should have done is defer to his uncle and say, you choose where you'd like to go and we'll go, wherever else. But that's not what Lot does. Lot quite literally chooses to go where the grass is greener. Right? He sees the lush plain and he's like, oh, I'm taking that. And uncle, you can go, take I'll get the fertile valley and you can have the rocks in the hills. It's not a very nice thing to do. So now my question is this. Well, there's one more thing I'd like to read. Lot chose the Jordan plain and moved away toward the east. They parted then, each from the other. Avraham stayed in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled among the cities of the plain, pitching his tents as far as Sodom, where the people were wicked and hardened sinners against the Eternal. That's important. First of all, it's important because in our next chapter, we're going to have the destruction of Sodom because of the evil ways of the people. But check it out. Lot chose to go to this lush green area and live among wicked people. That didn't bother him. And my question is there a lesson here in what's going down in this family? What are we being told? What are we being taught? A question.
How did he know the people were living
He probably didn't know. He might have known. I mean, they used to live there, but even if he didn't know that the people were wicked, he would have found out as soon as he got there. And we know from the next chapters that he settles in the city and lives among these people. And my question for you is the text trying to tell us that wealth is bad? Okay, it's bad if you let it get between your family. I would absolutely go along with that. So, I mean, I'll share with you my take on the story, because of course, Avraham is considered one of our very greatest ancestors. Avraham is revered by Jews and Muslims and Christians as an exemplar of how to lead a good life. And he was very rich, heavy rich, in fact. That's not a problem. I mean, after all, when Perchik says to Tevye, money is the world's curse, Tevye's answer is, may the Lord smite me with it, and may I never recover. The answer, I think, is that the text is not telling us that wealth is bad. There's nothing wrong with being wealthy. But it's so interesting, the Torah knows us so well. This is ancient knowledge and people really haven't changed. What it's trying to tell us, I think, is teaching us that like so many other things, wealth can exert a powerful influence over us. And this is not the only story where that point is driven home. Money can exert a powerful influence over us. And the one thing that wealth can never do, what money can never do, is guide us to doing what is right. That's why we need Torah. So we'll continue together with the Aleinu. I know it's one of these bookmarks. There we go. Yes. Page 282. Please rise. Page 282 at the top.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נותן שמיים ויוצר ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים מבעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו עינות. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Page 291. יש כוכבים שאורם מגיע ארצה, רק כאשר הם עצמם על דוב עינם. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, and those whom our friends and neighbors have lost. This week we are remembering one who passed and has not yet been laid to rest, Peter Reich, husband of Patricia. And observing Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, Aryeh Greenbaum, father of Ziva Herman, Bernie Jacobs, uncle of Mark Bloom, Mark Haven, cousin of Mark Perkis, Lynn Levine, mother of Donna Tomford, Harriet Rosenberg, uncle of Susan McClure. We are remembering those who died at this season in years past: Erwin Ruttman, Fred Sobel, Ivar Duchinsky, William Winokur, Sybil Nyman, Sonia Soul, Lucille de Cosmo, Helen Jacobs, Bernard Chernev, Mitzi Birnbaum, Leonard Kalman, Alan Stevens, Morris Goldman, Eleanor Nash, Sophie Dershowitz, Sylvia Weiss, Saul Lester, Percy Lightman, Morris Bobreski, Emmanuel Rosen, Esther Greenbaum, Abraham Liska, Harry Rosenberg, Judith Schwartz, Alexander Sherman, Rose Borstein, Esther Nathanson, Jonas Levin, Bessie Weinstein, Hank Strauss, Doris Barkan, Sylvia Grossbard, Bessie Udell, Max Limmer, Edith Goldstein, Betty Husgraw, Ida Oldstein, Helene Nelson, Morris Clitman. We remember the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. We remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We rise together, page 294, for the words of Kaddish Yatom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrachute, yamlich malchute, chayachon uvyomechon, uvechaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'yimru, amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach, la'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitala, shemei v'kudisha b'richu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'yimru, amen. Yehei shlam araba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, amen. May you be seated. We'll close with Adonai Oz La'amo Yitain. God will give strength to our people. Top of page 338. Adonai Oz La'amo Yitain. Adonai Oz La'amo Yitain. Adonai Oz La'amo Yitain. Adonai Yivarech et Amo. Adonai Yivarech et Amo v'shalom. Adonai Yivarech et Amo v'shalom. Adonai Oz La'amo Yitain. Adonai Oz La'amo Yitain. Adonai Oz La'amo Yitain. Adonai Yivarech et Amo. It's become our custom to share the blessing that Aaron placed on the entire community of Israel, Aaron and his descendants.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you with good and keep you safe. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. May God be with you and be kind to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha. V'yasem lecha shalom, shalom. May you always know that God is close, and may God give you the gift of peace. Yep.
Hello again. On behalf of the Board of Directors of Congregation Beth Hayim, thank you for joining us this evening at our Shabbat service. Tomorrow morning, our weekly Shabbat Torah study is at 8:45 outside, weather permitting. At 9 o'clock, our B'nai Mitzvah family class will meet. At 10:30 Shabbat morning, Zachary Blatt will be called to the Torah as one of Beth Hayim's B'nai Mitzvah. Please join us in wishing the Blatt family a hearty Mazel Tov. Sunday morning religious school meets at 9 a.m. At 9:30, our adult ed series, Swimming in the Sea of Talmud, continues in the chapel and on Zoom. It's a busy time. At 10:45, the religious school practices committee will meet. At 11, Zoom school resumes. The Craftwork Havara will meet at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in the lobby. Tuesday evening, there's a lot going on. The Finance and Nefesh committees will meet at 7 p.m. At 7:30, the choir will rehearse and the Introduction to Judaism class will meet. At 8, the Racial Justice Task Force will meet. On Wednesday, Zoom school meets in the afternoon for our 4th through 6th graders, religious school students at 4:30, followed by the 7th through 10th graders that will meet at 6:30 for pizza and class in person. There's more. On Wednesday evening, the Security Committee and Sisterhood Board will both meet at 7. On Thursday evening, we have 2 meetings, surprise, at 7. The Reimagining Education Task Force and House Committee will meet. Please join us every Friday night at 7:30 for our congregational Shabbat services. Visit the website at bethhaim.org for details on upcoming events. Thank you as always for being a valued member of our community. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Have a great week.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.